You're welcome back. Now, you know I love women, right? I think they're the best of the human race. And so anything that celebrates them, I'm on board. And that's why I'm excited about the Global Women's Professional and Business Exchange Conference. It's going to happen in Accra between the 4th and the 8th of October, which means it starts now. And the program will bring together many of the businesses and business and professional women from all over the world, including the Second Lady, Samira Baumia. And they are coming together to leverage their experiences in business, finance, and legal affairs, among others. Now, some of the key speakers at the conference will be our very own Emma Morrison, Head of Business Programming here at Multimedia. But today I wanted us to meet some of the women who have made a mark in the world of business, social enterprise, and continue to lead the pack, not just for their agenda, but for their sectors, and that is worth celebrating. So let's say good morning to Victoria Awuchumesi Palmer. She's the CEO of Palmer Group, based in the USA and in Ghana. She's here with Adrian Booth Johnson. She's the CEO of Infinity Global Connections. And we're also excited to have Florence Torsen Hart. She's the president of the U.S. Ghana Chamber of Commerce, the USA chapter. Am I right?
Yes.
Excellent. Well, yes. It's very nice to meet you all. By the way, Florence is also a certified financial planner. I think I need one of those. Don't we all? Well, it's nice to meet you all.
Nice to meet you.
It's a pleasure to meet you too.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Now, you know, today I thought, apart from just talking about the event, we could learn a bit about you, you know, and what you've done to make it to the heights that you've attained, and what others perhaps need to do if they're going to follow in your steps. So why don't I start with you, Victoria? So the Palmer Group does what exactly?
Well, so we have a diverse portfolio. We're into real estate, data management, private security services, hospitality management, and a little bit of agro business as well.
Wow.
So it's quite a diverse portfolio. We started this in the US and then relocated to Ghana. So we're currently in Ghana, and we've been doing business in Ghana for almost a year now. I can speak of some of our successes, but you know, save that for the conference. So make sure you come.
Okay, don't spill it all now. Yeah, but obviously the environment, the business environment in the U.S. will have some differences compared to Ghana. Tell us about some of those, and were there some unique challenges you faced breaking into Ghana?
Well, every terrain is different. The U.S. Is more, you know, developed, and so you have that to your advantage. And so coming into Ghana, one of the challenges, you know, we faced was how to integrate our concept into the Ghanaian community. And you know, for us, we had to include intensive training of our personnel to make sure that they can buy into our vision and what we were trying to accomplish. And one of the biggest things we talk about is attitude. So you need to have the best attitude. Customer service is one of our biggest strengths, and so that is what we instill in our employees as well. But we also needed people to understand that we're working towards a common goal, and everybody needed to buy into that vision, and that's how you can make that a reality. And that's what we've been trying to do, and it's served us well.
I mean, you've both had to excel in both countries, if you will.
Yes.
But tell me if you share Victoria's experience of the difference in how you have to do things in the U.S. compared to Ghana.
Absolutely, there's a difference, but the thing about it is there are a lot of things that are similar. So as a retiree from the Coca-Cola company, a lot of the skills that I learned there, I'm able to transfer it here in the program that we're working with women here in Ghana. So I don't see a difference in the women. I just see a difference in how we deliver the programs. And so our program mainly is Infinity Global Connections. We're responsible for training, and we do leadership development. But one of the reasons why we're here in Ghana is that we empower women. We put women in business. So we've created a program where Woyi Bra was the vision of Ellen Aduba and myself. And we create entrepreneurs by giving sewing machines. We create seamstress in rural villages. And thus far, as of today, we've put 45 women in business in Ghana.
Wow.
We were just in the central region this week, and now the women can sustain themselves, and they make reusable sanitary pads that can be made and sold to girls in villages so they can stay in school.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant. And you know, it's important because part of our problem as a developing country is this whole rural-urban migration. Yes. And projects like yours hopefully will help to stem the tide of people feeling that the only way to get work is by moving into the city. That's exciting.
That's right.
I'm glad to hear about it.
Thank you.
Is it tough being a woman at the top? You know, whatever it is that you do. Is it tough leading the pack and being a woman?
Well, also, I'm a certified financial planner, and I think that it's a male-dominated field. I think we have less than 10% of the women on Wall Street, you know. However, I think women are better at what I do than men are.
Why is that?
Sorry. Because women are just better listeners, right? So what I do basically is to understand your life and what your goals are and try to come up with a financial plan to help you to get there. And the biggest skill that you need to do that is listening. So you just need to shut up and listen. And I think that women are better at capturing that and the emotion behind that, because all of that goes into building a plan. So it is a little lonely because we don't have as many women as we can. One of the things that I work for Merrill Lynch, was to employ a woman. This was clearly a very accomplished woman. For whatever reason, they didn't want to hire her immediately. I employed her and paid her out of my pocket. And so she worked there for a few months, and Merrill Lynch saw how great she was, and they gave her a job.
Wow.
So sometimes those are some of the things we have to do yeah. But we need more women in finance, that's that for sure.
Now, I won't lie to you. Most men don't quite get it. They don't quite understand what the problem is. I mean, they see women in leadership positions. I've got 3 of them here on my sofa. So they feel that there isn't as much of a big deal as you say. They think the playing field is more level than you portray it to be. So tell us what we're missing. What is that reality that we don't appear to see about how hard it is for women to compete in the business world?
Well, can I? Absolutely.
Yeah,
We can all take bites at it, yeah.
You hit the right spot on that.
Yeah.
Now, if I asked you, is the United States one of the most developed countries in the world, would you say it is?
Yeah.
Now, what if I told you the woman earns 76 cents out of every dollar that a man earns?
Wow, is what I'd say.
Right? And so you take the most developed country in the world and you see the challenges that women face. It is not that men are holding women back, but there are some inherent advantages built into being a man. And I think that because it is not a deliberate thing that men are doing, that is why they don't get it, right? Because they take a look at themselves and they're like, I'm a great person. I have not done anything against any woman.
I do everything my wife tells me.
Absolutely. So how could I be the one preventing a woman to get to the next level? There are advantages built into being a man that is not immediately visible. Now, if it were taken away from you, you will know, right? So that is why we need to bring some of these things up to equalize the playing field. We love men. I have a son, I have a husband, you know. A woman gave birth to you. You see,
that's the rumor. Yeah.
So you are, so you're half woman, right? XY chromosome, you know. So you're half woman. So it is impossible. Yeah, you didn't think of it from that perspective.
No, I'm worried about the headlines. The headlines that will be generated from this conversation.
No, every man is half of a woman. It is impossible for us to hate men because you are part of us.
What I think, as far as living in the United States, we were discriminated against not only because we were women, but because we were black or African American. And so we had two hurdles to overcome. And so we had to be smarter. We had to do things. I know to stay in corporate America for 25 years, I know in order to move up, I had to move out. And a lot of women, they loved Atlanta, but I wanted to go where the opportunity was. Another thing that women have to do is they have to learn to run their race. It doesn't matter what anybody's doing beside you. You've got to know what your goal is, stay focused, and run your race, and you'll do just fine. So those are some of the things that women have to learn, and that's why in our program, we focus on women, because we know if you educate a woman, you educate the family, you educate the family, you educate the community, and that impacts generations as well.
And to kind of add to what Adrienne was saying, for me, even living in America, you know, you are a minority, you are a woman, and you're an immigrant, you know, and so to add to all of that, you had to do 3 times the work to be in a leadership role, and I was in a leadership role. And you know, even though my male counterparts were there, you know, equally competent, you still had to perform 3 times more to be able to match, you know, what they were doing. So, you know, being a woman is not the easiest thing, and I think for us, one of the brilliant things we're doing is to make sure that we provide that forum where women can connect with other women. We can harness that, you know, the resources amongst us, and then impart that to, you know, the women that are going to be there. So a lot of empowerment is going to happen at the conference.
Now, Adrienne, I know you've been in the corporate world and then in private enterprise. Is that the case for all of you?
Yeah, I mean, I worked for the government in Ghana before I left. Yeah.
Okay.
And similarly myself in the US, and then.
So for those young women who will be coming to this conference, who are watching us now, and who are trying to decide whether it's going to be easier for them to make it in the corporate world or on their own, talk to them.
Okay, we're all excited. Yes. You have to come to the conference because we have so much information. But I would just like to say, I think when you can come and you can feel the passion and the energy, and women want to help women. And so to come to the conference and to get an opportunity to meet and greet and talk and learn, I mean, to me, that's what the essence of this conference is. And my hat's off to Florence for putting this all together, and Lydia, because this has been amazing. And so not only are you going to meet women from Ghana, but you're going to meet women from the States. You're going to meet women who live in the States, who are now back in Ghana, women who may be going back to the States from Ghana. I mean, so it's just a big thing to be there and to learn, and there'll be a lot of people there.
But which is easier, do you reckon?
No,
private or corporate?
I think that decision depends on who is making the decision. And the benefit of being at the conference is you get to meet women from both sides, right? There are women who are in the private sector, and there are women who have also chosen, there are women who own their own businesses, and there are those that have chosen more of a career, professional route. So these are the women that you are aspiring to be. In order to make their decision, it is a good idea to leverage what their experiences are. Yesterday, I joked at the reception that hopefully it doesn't take them as long as it took for us to figure that out. So come, talk to the ladies, tell them this is what I'm trying to do. What are the things that I should know? What are some of the advantages and disadvantages? Do I have any blind spots that I have to be looking out for? And so maybe you may come and get some affirmation that, you know, my decision to move to the business side is the best one because I have learned from maybe Awo's experience, Cindy's experience. Or you could decide that, you know what, maybe it's not so much for me. This is where my passion lies, and maybe I'm not much of a risk taker. And so I would probably do the professional or career route. So I would want them to come and leverage those experiences to strengthen their relationships.
Now, one thing I know about Ghanaian women is that they're not just smart, they're also strong. And I wonder, though, from your observation, experiences that you've had and interactions you've had with Ghanaian women, whether they are taking all the opportunities available to them, or whether a few are slipping them by, and what do they need to do, to make sure that
how many ways can I answer this question, right? Listen, I mean, so I am a numbers person, right? And I think that there is a cost to the inability for women to realize all of the economic potential. And also, even from a business standpoint, right? I remember when I was growing up in Ghana, my father was the breadwinner of the family, and he died very young, at 52 years old. And we went from having one lifestyle and everything sort of turned on his head, talking about the strength of Ghanaian women. My mother stepped up and they sort of like steadied the ship with no prior experience at doing that. But in doing that, there were some growing pains and there was some learning. So I would like to see a situation where women understand that even if your husband is the breadwinner, you still have to be aware of what goes on, especially with the finances in the house. I don't know if Ghanaians, because when I was leaving, for example, maybe my father did not have life insurance and stuff like that. So when he passed, you know, we did not have anything to do that. But to the extent that women understand that these things are important, not only for the family, but even for you, to make sure that if anything happens, you are protected and can move on with whatever goals you and your spouse had for your family.
I think for our Will You Bra program, the women, once they get those sewing machines, when they first come to our program, they're kind of quiet and docile. But once they get the sewing machines to get that skill and get the certificate, we put money in the bank for them so they can start their business. It's a total different attitude. And now that we're going and training more people, we thought we were going to have to hire trainers to come and teach the sewing. But the women that are in the class are coming and teach it. So to your point about women being strong, and we're so strong that now we've been getting calls from South Africa, Liberia, to come and do our Will You Bra program. And what we're going to do is take women from Ghana to go to South Africa so the Ghanaian women can teach other women how to do it, because Ghanaian women are very strong.
Wow.
And being a Ghanaian woman.
A strong Ghanaian woman.
Strong Ghanaian woman. I would say yes, Ghanaian women are very strong. There's so many young women out there doing it for themselves, and it is amazing to see that. I think that, you know, part of the conference is to give the women who are not yet there that opportunity to, again, meet leaders from a global perspective, network with them. We're also going to have one-on-one mentoring and coaching sessions. So we help you set goals. We help you, you know, get connected to somebody who is in the field that you are aspiring to be in, and to also have that continuum. So you're going to have that support along the way. We're not just going to come and leave you there. We're going to continue to engage you, you know, beyond the conference, so you can continue to build your skills. And really, I think that, you know, for anybody looking to go into any type of business, this is the place to be. You'll not.
Do you know, I this is a sensitive one. Now, I'm a father. I have a son, and I know it's my responsibility to teach my son to respect women the way I do. I have friends who have daughters, and they're trying to raise their daughters to command respect. But then you go on Facebook and Instagram and you see these young girls who just want to be slay queens and so forth. And I'm wondering whether my son has a conflict in his mind when I'm telling him, respect these women, and he's looking at them and he's wondering, do they want me to respect them? Do you have that same concern when you look at some of the young women coming up? And do you think it's our fault? And what can we do to, perhaps, if the trend needs to be changed, what can we do to change the trend?
Well, I think that hopefully it's just a subsection of women who are doing that. And so your son would have a lot of positive role models, female role models in his life, so that he can have a better balance of who a woman is. I think that most of these things that are going on with Instagram and social media and the lifestyle that it brings and the culture that it brings is new. And with every new thing, sometimes you have to go through some a process, right? And get to a place of maturity. And so I will not hold that too much against the young women, because it's sort of like an exciting time for a lot of them. For 15 years ago, whoever thought that it would be possible for you to be in your bedroom and take a video and the whole world sees it, right? So I think we have to be patient and with these young ladies, but I know that with time comes maturity, and hopefully your son would wait to judge all women, right? And until you see the process work itself out. But now it's exciting. It's not only young women. You have a lot of grown women doing that too.
Yes.
And men, you know.
Yeah.
So,
Indeed.
yeah. So
Yeah.
hopefully there is a better balance for him.
As a minister, you know, we just have to know that we have to keep God the center of our life. And so I see the young girls, and a lot of them are lost, but that's why God is in the midst. And that's why God put people like us here, so that we can be, so that you can look at the TV and see that people care about you. And it doesn't matter what you look like, what you have, because we are walking by sight. So we have to continue to keep walking by faith and not by sight. And so it's very important for us to help show girls, so when they turn on the TV, they see people that are dressed professionally. And one of the things coming from corporate America, they have to also know is that social media will be the end of you on your job, because people check that social media.
Yes.
And so it's very important now for kids now, starting young. And even if you want to run for a political candidate, you're going to be able to go back and pull those tapes up, pull those Instagrams, those texts, those messages. And so we have to let them know that what you do today may have an impact on what happens for you tomorrow.
And you know, being a mother with a 14-year-old son, he's right at that age where, you know, again, social media is right in his face. And basically what I teach him is that once you put it out there, you cannot take it back.
That's right.
So do you really want it out there? And the minute you do, you cannot take it back. And to just instill in him, you know, values and what we believe in. And I think that once you're able to do that, even with the temptation of social media, should be fine.
Yeah, well, the future looks bright when we look at it through your eyes. So let's talk a bit more about the event coming up from the 4th until the...
So the conference is tomorrow.
Okay.
The conference itself is tomorrow. It's at Kempinski Hotel, and it starts at 9 o'clock. So we will have a lot of people and a lot of speakers. I think we have almost 36 speakers.
Yeah.
Wow.
A lot of whom are from Ghana and from all over the world who have come to share their knowledge with. So I would encourage Ghanaian women to come. Definitely, we will start off with a keynote address by the Second Lady, Mrs. Samira Bawumia, who has been very gracious and kind with the organization of this conference. But we will have a lot of good information to show. I don't know if we will get an opportunity to go into detail as to some of the breakout panels.
Sure, we have a few minutes. You can certainly do
so we will start off by talking about, I think, Adrian, you're on that panel, right? So Adrian is a former executive of Coca-Cola, but she's also a business strategist. So we'll start off by talking about how to leverage the C-suite for women, right? What responsibility do professional, accomplished women feel to help up-and-coming young girls to get to where they are? So that would be the first thing we'll talk about. We would also talk about how to brand your business from start to finish, right? How to use social media to create a market for your business. So we have a gentleman by the name of David Simmons. He's Ghanaian but lives in the United States, and that is his specialty. We also have Cindy Teria, Angel Livers, who is the founder and CEO of the woman behind the business, and other panel members talking about how to create a social media presence for your business. Because right now, I know I'm at Joy, but advertising has sort of changed a little bit. And you probably don't need as much money to advertise as you used to.
Yeah.
Because social media advertising has, you know, disrupted a few things in the advertising industry. So they are going to talk about how to brand. Cindy has a natural hair care line in the United States. She's in 6,000 stores.
Wow.
In the United States, including Walmart and Giant and all of, and she's a Ghanaian woman.
Fantastic.
So she's going to be sharing her experiences. But above all, I think that the road to success is not always straight. There are bends and turns, and I want people to share their experiences, what they did right, what some of their biggest failures were, so that the attendees can learn from not only the good stories, but also what did not work so well.
That's great, can't wait. And of course, our very own Emma Morrison is participating. Tell us what she'll be doing.
So Emma will be on the branding panel talking about that. This is her job, right? And she's head of group business reporting, right, at Joy. So she would be sharing her experiences and showing people how to tap into some of these opportunities that are available right here in Ghana that they should be aware of. I know that Joy is a leader in the information and broadcast space, not only TV, radio, but online. You have a very strong presence online. So we want to bring the best people to talk about that. And Emma has been very gracious. I know she's very busy, so we feel honored that she's. But in addition to what she will be saying, she's been super, super helpful in getting this thing off the ground. So,
fantastic. And
of course, we also want to say Joy, a multimedia group, has also been a great partner thus far in organizing the conference.
The pleasure is ours. We do whatever our women tell us.
That's a smart one. Yeah, really. Your life gets so much easier if you listen to what your women say.
That's true.
You know.
So it starts off tomorrow.
Yes,
that's
at
the main
9
event.
o'clock.
And men are invited, right? We can
Of
come,
course,
right?
of
Yes.
course. Why do you think I spend all this time talking about the fact that men are really half women?
There you
No,
go,
we
yes.
want men to come.
We'll just flash the right chromosome at the gate and you let us in.
No, so we want everybody to come. I think, and we also have a dinner dance in the evening. And we need women, we can't dance by ourselves. We need to dance with men.
All right then.
So we think that the men should be there too.
Right.
So
Exactly.
definitely. But please come out. I think that this is a great opportunity. The networking, the one-on-one coaching, the partnering, and the mentoring. I don't know if you want to.
Well, what I was going to say is one of the things that helped me stay in corporate America for 25 years is that I learned the difference between having a coach, having a mentor, and having a sponsor. These women are sponsors.
Ooh.
The sponsor is the person that when decisions are made about your career, they're the ones in the room. You're not even there. And so to me, it's important for women and men to know that when they're climbing that corporate ladder, that it's not who's going to let you, but who's going to stop you. Nobody can stop you once you don't. And you know who's it belongs to is my father's house. So I never worried about working at Coca-Cola because what God has given to you, no man can take away from you.
That's wonderful.
So I knew that I was going to stay until God said it was time for me to go. And then that's when he said it's time to come to Ghana and do Woyibra. And so that's what I'm here. You have to be obedient.
Amazing. I love that.
And just to kind of top it all off, I think that if you're looking to take your business from zero to global, tomorrow you need to be there.
Right. That's right.
You're going to have that experience to do that.
Yeah, and in connection with that, we are going to produce a global digital directory of female professionals and businesses, because right now, helping with female businesses is what a lot of people are talking about, and we need to come together as women to help those people that are looking to help us
Yeah.
and so we are going to produce that directory. If you come to the conference, you get to be in that directory. That becomes part of the database of most of these companies and institutions that are looking to do business with women.
And to me, it's a place where you're not going to see us. I mean, when we come, and we're all busy women, this is the place to come tomorrow, to be there. So you'll have a chance to have one-on-one conversations, you get a chance to talk to people, because you may not be able, you know, and to get a business card and to follow up and to know how to network. And that's the key to me, is to come prepared to network and let things happen while you're at the conference, because you can't make it happen sitting at home.
Wow, wow, that's true. Victoria, Adrian, Florence, you have blessed us indeed. We're so pleased you were able to make it, and we wish you all the best tomorrow.
Thank you.
We will see you there.
I'll be there. Try and stop me.
Looking forward to seeing you.
absolutely,
Thank you, Ghana. I mean, we've been here a few days. I've gone to eat all of my favorite local foods, right? But I'm having so much fun in Ghana. So thank you. It always feels good to come to Ghana.
Oh, we're so happy to have you.
Thank
And
you.
listen, you guys need to watch these women take over the world and make sure that you're positively affected by it as well. So be there tomorrow and experience the Global
They
Women's
can pick
Professional
tickets up here if they
Business
want to.
Exchange. Say that again, sorry.
The tickets are available.
Oh
at
yes,
Joy.
you can get tickets here at the Joy front desk. And make sure that this doesn't happen without you. Okay. Right now, listen. We can go live now to Maxwell Agbagba, who is in East Legon. He's there speaking to the police on a number of security issues that have arisen in the area. This will interest you. Watch it. Right now, Maxwell, I think you can hear me. I hope you can hear me. Good morning. Right, okay, well, we need to connect to Maxwell. We'll do that in a moment, right after these important messages.